Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into my official top 5 parlays here for college football conference championship weekend. Gonna be a little mellow video, guys. There's not a lot of games happening. Simple parlays. We're gonna keep it sweet. I'm very happy. I'm in an extremely good mood. I won my $3 billion bet yesterday on the United States to beat Iran straight up. So that is, I'm so thankful for that. I want to give it all away. It's going to be amazing, guys. So, guys, this is my official safe parlay for conference championship weekend. I will say before I get into it, a few of these parlays have some NFL action because of the lack of games. And I also want to say this is not the last parlay video, or at least it shouldn't be. I'm going to have an absolute bombshell blockbuster parlay video when all the bowl games come out, and it's going to be just crazy. I might do 10 parlays when all the bowl games come out. But the safe parlay, of course, it's free money. It's like stealing from a bank. Buffalo money line versus Akron. So, guys, we're expecting Akron to really come back down to earth. Kind of weird that Buffalo was only 11.5-point favorites. A lot of money coming in on Akron. They are a curious story. Last week, starting an unknown quarterback from Albany who transferred into their program, and they crushed Northern Illinois 40-12, but Buffalo is a good team. This should be a correction game. Buffalo gets it done. And we just need Buffalo to win. We just need Buffalo to win. Can you win? You just need to win. I don't care if you win by 1 point, whatever. Just win for the safe parlay's sake. Utah at USC, the over 54.5. That is minus 450. So I'm buying a bunch of points there. This is the safe parlay. Very confident. There's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. The actual over-under is 67. But again, guys, we know how the Pac-12's worked this year. It would be so surprising if we got some weird 24-20 game. It would be like a sad ending to a good movie. The Pac-12's had such a great year with high-scoring games. Give us a 40-37 game and give me the over 54.5 easily hitting. Next, we have Fresno State at Boise State. We like the over 41.5. That is another one where I'm buying a ton of points, kind of manipulating the spread. Fresno State's been scoring a ton ever since they got their quarterback back. Boise State has been scoring, funny enough, ever since they fired their offensive coordinator and their starting quarterback went into the transfer portal. So Boise State's had a weird season. I actually like Fresno State to win this game outright. But listen, we're going to be delicate. We're going to be gentle. We just need a few little points here. We need some points, guys. Just a little bit. That's all. 41.5. It should not be hard. The actual over-under, I believe, is right around 54. So, and then Purdue at Michigan, or not at Michigan, excuse me. These are all neutral site games. I don't know why I put at. This game taking place in Indianapolis, of course. We like the over. So apparently there's really good value on the actual over-under of 52. But again, this is minus 650. This game is being played in a dome. Michigan, the newfound passing offense with J.J. McCarthy. Purdue, Aiden O'Connell. I know he had the death in his family. You know, we pray for him and stuff, and certainly that's bad, but he should be playing. So this game expected, you're going to see Purdue at least, you would think, even if it's garbage time, get around 17 points on the board. And Michigan, they get, 31 points? That's clearly over the 39.5, guys. Of course, this is the safe parlay. Very safe and secure. We want it to be like a bank. We want it safe and secure. We want our free money. Thank you. Thank you for that. Moving on to the second parlay. It's going to be Utah moneyline versus USC. So, guys, I do have a lot of faith in Utah. A few different things I want to talk about when it comes to USC and their playoff chances. If you look at any of the actual advanced analytics, advanced metrics, they hate USC. And by hate USC, I don't mean, they rank USC 6th or 7th. I mean, there are metrics that rank USC in terms of just overall team outside of the top 10. It's due to their extreme turnover luck throughout this season. Utah, in my opinion, is a much more complete team. That's probably one of the more underrated teams when you look at the casual fans of college football, because they look at Utah and they see 3 losses and they see the week 1 loss to Florida, which was an extreme, unfortunate situation where they're playing in hot, humid weather in a hostile environment. It's week 1. Utah, they're just dominant. They are the reason they're so highly regarded. The reason FPI gives them a 61% chance to beat USC is because they dominate football games. Offense, defense, they are a complete team. USC is not a complete team. You definitely could make the argument that it doesn't matter that USC is not complete. They have Caleb Williams. Utah doesn't. Certainly you can make that argument. I guess we'll see who's right. It's going to be a great game either way. I'm extremely excited for the Pac-12 championship game. And, the college football world is rooting, I have to say, for a Utah victory. College football, the fans, they love Ohio State. They want to see the Buckeyes in the playoffs. So, we will see. I just want a good game personally. I want a really good game. Next, we have Toledo versus Ohio. Guys, am I missing something on this game? It's the MAC championship. It's indoors. I'll take the straight over 55. And I think both of these teams get into the 30s. It should be a really fun game with 2 good offenses. Fresno State moneyline versus Boise State. So this is the parlay of the underdog. I love Fresno State. They're +3. I will take them to win this game outright. Great momentum, great team. Ever since they got their starting quarterback, they've been playing like a playoff team. I think this team, honestly, if they didn't suffer a quarterback injury, they would be 10-2 right now. They would be. They'd be 10-2. They'd be a top 20 team, and we would be talking about them possibly going to a New Year's Six Bowl, which would have been so great for the sport. Fresno State in a New Year's Six Bowl, maybe against a team like Ohio State. That would be a great matchup. So who knows, guys? But no, Fresno State, they're going to win this game, and then they're going to get into a really good bowl. Boise State's had a good season, but Fresno State is just more explosive and has more potential on offense with their starting quarterback. That is a 3-teamer plus a little under 1,000. That is the parlay of the underdog there, plus 135 on Utah and Fresno State. Moving on to my third parlay, we're going to go Coastal Carolina versus Troy, the under 48.5. Guys, I realize betting the under in college football, like under 48 or when it's in the 40s, it's a fool's game. I get it. But the thing that I'm thinking about this game, Coastal Carolina, their backup quarterback, they generated 7 points last week. Now they face a very good Troy defense. Who's to say Troy doesn't get up early in this game and just sit on the ball and win like 24-10 or 27-10. So that's my train of thought in this one. It is marginal. This is not my favorite bet, but I do think there's value in Troy's elite defense going up against the backup quarterback who scored 7 points last week. I just don't think Coastal Carolina is going to generate enough points to make this game over. And it also doesn't help that Troy really doesn't have a very good offense. They're a defensive team. They want a ball control. So I'll take the under 48.5. It's interesting, though. That line has gotten bet up. It was at 46. So there's a lot of people that like the over in that game. Tulane money line versus UCF. So Tulane got that news that they are keeping their head coach. I know there were some people worried if he leaves, what happens to Tulane this week. But they're going to use that momentum. It's their year to make a New Year's Six Bowl. I love UCF. I love what they've done. I've been a huge supporter of their success this season, but I've said, for the last few weeks, I do think Tulane should be the team to make a New Year's Six Bowl. It would be great for them. And maybe we get a little Tulane versus Ohio State in a New Year's Six Bowl. That would be amazing for the sport. Or maybe it's Tulane versus Penn State. I don't know. Either way, guys, this would be big for them, huge for their program, winning this game, possibly getting ranked inside the top 16 in the final poll. If they probably would be inside the top 15. A 2-loss team, 11-2, the American champs. That would be awesome for them. And then Georgia versus LSU. Kind of a weird situation here. I'm buying the under 62.5. So I'm actually buying it up and taking the under. The actual over-under in this game is 51. I'm saying, listen, there's no way LSU is generating much of anything on offense against this Georgia defense. This is going to be a snoozer. This is going to be the worst rated SEC championship in probably 5 or 6 years. going all the way back to when Missouri came out of the SEC East. So this is not a big game. I'm sure, CBS is pissed. They needed LSU to win last week to set up the scenario where LSU would be ranked number 6 right now, and possibly if they beat Georgia, they would leapfrog Ohio State because they beat Georgia and they're SEC champions. None of that can happen. So now this game is meaningless. Georgia, they're going to win this game because it's a feather in Kirby Smart's hat to win another SEC championship, and it's going to be a snooze fest, guys. Let's be honest. So that's a 3-team parlay plus 278 on that one. Pretty simple for that. Moving on to my 4th parlay, we're going to go Troy moneyline versus Coastal Carolina. So I already kind of analyzed this one. I like that Troy defense against the backup quarterback who didn't show anything last week, getting blown out by James Madison. Troy's had a very good year. They're going to get it done. They're going to win their conference championship. Michigan moneyline versus Purdue. Very surprising if Michigan lost this game with, Purdue. It's a fun story. Good for them coming out of the West, making it to Indianapolis, but it's just not going to happen against Michigan. Michigan will win this game. They'll be the 2 seed heading into the playoff. And then we do have some NFL action. So this is the Thursday night game. And guys, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the NFL, but we're seeing a lot more overs in the NFL. And I really like the setup here. Bills and the Patriots, the over 43.5. I think Josh Allen is able to rebound even against a Bill Belichick defense. And the Patriots and Mac Jones, they scored a ton. They finally broke out on Thanksgiving night against a tough defense in Minnesota on the road. So I like this game to be over. Again, kind of going with the trend in the NFL of games going over. And then I'll take the Browns with returning Deshaun Watson right up on the money line. I think they're minus 320 right now on the money line at Houston, who is clearly tanking and trying to lose. So that is a 14 parlay. Overall odds on that plus 260. And then moving on to my 5th and final parlay, we're going to go UTSA right up on the money line versus North Texas. I love UTSA. I am very disappointed the committee did not rank UTSA at 10-2. You've got to show them some respect, at least give them the 25th spot. That's disappointing to me. I'm sorry. UTSA, Frank Harris, they deserve better. They're going to beat North Texas. North Texas really disappointed me last week with their performance when I was a little bit arrogant. I said they were a lock to cover, and then they barely won. Kansas State versus TCU. We're just going to go in on the over 61.5. If I had to bet something, I'd say TCU wins this game. But we know how the Big 12 works. Kansas State is rolling on offense. TCU has been pretty much good on offense all year. They've been known to give up a lot of yards. So I like the over. It's going to be a very fun Big 12 championship game in the Dome in Dallas, so that over should hit in my opinion. Giants money line versus the Commanders. I just think the Commanders are due for a loss and the Giants are at home. They're 2.5-point underdogs. I find very good value right now on the New York Football Giants. Bengals money line versus the Chiefs. Bengals returning everyone, guys. I know the Chiefs are good, but they're 9-2. They're due for a loss. Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. This team is loaded. Joe Burrow's been great recently. Cincinnati wins this game. This is the big primetime 425 game there in Cincinnati. And then we've got the Sunday night game. The Cowboys are just a runaway train right now. They're taking on a very bad Indianapolis team with Jeff Saturday. I will take the Cowboys on the money line. So that is a long shot parlay right there. Just a little fun one to end off the video. The overall odds on that over plus 1,000. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.